Timeshares. So, are they a bargain? Are they a scam? Do they deserve the reputation that they have? Kind of a bad one. All right, let's check it out after this. Timeshares. So the story of the timeshare for the typical person is this. They're on vacation, they're walking down the street, somebody approaches them and says, "Hey, how would you like to have vacations for life?" That sounds like a heck of a deal to anybody if the price is right. So they offer you sometimes 4 days, 3 nights in one of their gorgeous resorts. But the only stipulation is that you have to attend a 60 to 90 minute presentation. Now, they usually sweeten the deal by, hey, while you're here, go see a show, go to a sporting event, go to a theme park. Okay, well, you've been softened up a little bit because you got something free. So you figure, if I get something free, I need to pay for it. So I'm going to pay for it by sitting down for 60 to 90 minutes with somebody. I think we can handle that. Sounds reasonable. Then, after you've enjoyed yourself, you're more amenable to hear what they have to say anyways, because they just gave you something that was a pretty cool memory. Well, here's what happens. They're going to sit you down and start asking you personal questions. How often do you go on vacation? How many days do you usually spend? And how much money do you spend when you do this? The answer, they have a pretty good idea about. The average family of 4 spends $4,500 per year on vacations. Over 20 years, that is translated to $90,000 that you, the average family, spends on vacation. They're going to sit you down and they're going to say, hey, with us, you're only going to spend $50,000. Here's a $50,000 contract for X amount of points that should get you about 2 weeks of points every year. Okay. $50,000, that's a $40,000 savings. If you could save $40,000 over the next 20 years, why wouldn't you take this deal? I mean, they are making sense. But one little detail that they're going to sneak in, I don't know if they sneak it in, but one little detail they add is that you're going to have to pay something called maintenance fees. Maintenance fees work like this. They have to maintain their resorts, to maintain their beauty, make sure they are well kept, the flower beds, the walkways, everything's swept, the pool's clean. They have to pay office staff, they have to pay front desk staff and maintenance staff. And so why shouldn't you have to pay maintenance fees? This is something you own. You still have to maintain things like your car and things like that. Well, guess what? For $50,000 worth of points, at a minimum, and this is probably a low ball, you're going to have to pay at least $1,800 per year, if not more. $1,800 per year translated is $150 per month, per year, over the course of your life, or your spouse's or your partner's life. And if you bequeath this property to, I quote property, if you bequeath it, this ownership they call it, to one of your children or a friend or a family member, they're going to pay that maintenance fee for their life and the life of whoever they give it to. So you are a constant money source to them. So if we use their figures of 20 years, usually you're going to pay $90,000 for your vacation. And you're going to get $40,000 off. If you paid $1,800 in maintenance fees for the next 20 years, you will have given them another $36,000, which translates to $86,000, which means now you've only saved $4,000 over 20 years. Yeah, but that's the other thing. These maintenance fees are never going to stay the same. They are going to go up, like inflation, because people's pay doesn't go down. I've never seen the minimum wage. We don't need as much money for those minimum people, so what's going to go down? No, always goes up. So the maintenance fees are always going to go up. So now, also, one thing, if you don't pay cash outright for this property, you're going to pay interest. The interest you're going to pay is more than likely going to be about 18%. They're going to charge you credit card style interest on this property. So that means now you know as well as I do, that number is way higher than the $90,000 you would pay without them. Another point, flexibility. So they do have beautiful locations. You'll see pictures of the locations they have plastered all over their wall. That's great, but it isn't always easy to get into their locations, their facilities, because they have other members who are vying for those same points, those same locations. They want to go to the hottest places. And if you aren't on one of their tiers, you know what, bronze, silver, gold, and platinum, of course, boom, 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 goes up. If you're not on one of the higher tiers, you're going to be left behind a little bit for those hotter locations, those places that everybody wants to go to. Another point to be made in that. Say you want to go to Rome one year. You're like, we're going to use our points. We're going to stay in Rome. And then you look at it, you can't find Rome. Or you find Rome, but it is 4 times the amount of points to go to Rome as it is to go to Branson, Missouri, or Orlando, Florida. Yeah, there's a hierarchy to these things, and not all points are created equal. So it's not the same to stay in Rome as it is to stay here, just like it is with hotels. So they haven't changed this, and there's competition. There's more competition to get in those places. Here's what I will tell you. If you don't buy a timeshare, you still have the flexibility to choose the time you want to go and where you want to go. You can type up at any time, hey, I want to go from June 14th to June 18th to Rome, Italy. You type that in, you're going to find tons of hotels ready to accommodate your needs. They might not be as fancy, but you can at least get there and stay there. Last point. They try to equate all your vacation money with just your hotel, your resort. So they say it's going to cost you $4,500 a year to go on vacation. That's true, but the hotels are only one part of your vacation. There are also airline tickets many times, or you're driving. Now they do often say, hey, we will charge you, you could use your points to buy airplane tickets. Okay, that's true, but now you have less points to stay in your resort. So they are being deceptive in the way they message. So the realistic way for you to look at this is, okay, if I want this timeshare, it needs to be equal to what I pay in hotel fees, hotel rentals, for my normal vacations. For me, I try to stay in places that will charge me $100 a night. So, if I'm going for 2 weeks, that's $1,400. Over the course of 20 years, that's $28,000. So if what they're charging you is equal to, in my case, $28,000, well, for me, it's not worth it because I don't get the flexibility. I'd just rather pay the hotel. I'd rather pay the hotel in the place I want to stay. So be careful. They are trying to sucker you in without giving you a product that you really want. Unless you like staying in the same place all the time, and it does save you money over the life of the program that you're in, or over your whole life, I guess. But don't think you're actually saving money with a timeshare. All right. One thing I need to mention, I said 3 things. Is it a scam? No, timeshares are not a scam. They actually provide a product that they say they will provide. They provide you resort nights. Okay. Are they deceptive? Absolutely deceptive. They will tell you things that you might not be able to get to entice you to stay there. They'll sell you you can stay in Rome, and when you might not be able to get there. It's all maybe. It's all a big maybe. So that's deceptive because they can't guarantee you that you'll get your spot in wherever you want to stay in. Nor are there resorts in every place that you might want to go. If you wanted to just stay at a resort close to family members, there may not be a resort within 100 miles of where you want to go. There will be a hotel. Okay, and then lastly, do they deserve their bad reputation? Yes. They constantly use deceptive practices to sell you a product that if they were more straightforward about, they might be able to sell anyways. And the deceptive practices mean there are hard feelings, and people absolutely despise their timeshare companies because they use deceptive practices. For me, honesty is the best policy. I do run a travel company. I sell tours. They are the price they are. Sometimes I have them on sale. If you want to look into my story-based travel, go to nerdgasmicadventures.com. If you want to go on a traditional 10-day tour to a European location, check out yourtravelheroes.com. All right, this is Kelly signing off. I'll talk to you next time.